Okay, the next item on the agenda is Superintendent's recommendations and reports. Mr. Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Birdie. At this time, I'd like Mr. Martin to cover the items listed under Personnel Professional.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Birding, several items under Personnel Professional this evening. Item number 1, resignations, letter A. Item number 2, unpaid leaves of absence, letters A and B. Item number 3, employment, letter A. Letter B is extracurriculars for the current school year. Letter C, ESL tutors for the current school year. Letter D, substitute teachers for the current school year. And letter E, volunteers for the current school year. That concludes the items I have for your consideration this evening under Personnel Professional.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendations.
So moved.
Second it.
Is there any questions or comments?
I do have one comment. I see here that Mr. Laughlin is volunteering with wrestling, which is great to have him back in that role, and I'm sure the kids appreciate his involvement. So thanks to all those volunteers and Mr. Laughlin.
Any other comments? Mrs. Lame, you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundram?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes.
Motion passes.
This time, I'd like to ask Mr. Penny to cover the items listed under Personnel Support.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Birding, members of the board, I have the following items for your consideration this evening under personnel support. Under item number 1, resignations, letters A through C. Under item number 2, unpaid leave of absence, letters A through C. Under item number 3, employment, letters A through D. Under item number 4, promotions, letters A and B. This concludes the items I have for your consideration this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. This time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommendations.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I noticed there was a couple bus drivers on there. Mr. Begley, do you want to ask anything about that?
I'm sure we're on top of it, right? Doing the best we can, right?
We are definitely. This will create one opening, and then one's going to be a retirement. As always, we're always looking for subs also and trying to get subs trained, because that's one of the big sticking points when you have a few absences or people out, being able to fill in for them.
Any other questions or comments? All right, Mrs. Lame, will you call the roll, please?
Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundram?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Motion passes.